Hello, welcome to the channel, Escaping the Echo Chamber. Today, I wanted to quickly talk about unions. Um, Jan's cases going through the Supreme Court, and actually, as a member of a union, I think my idea about them is that they're useful, they're good, they have the potential to be good in terms of how effective they are for their constituents and their members. But I think unions are actually making themselves obsolete. And I use my union as an example. My union is a very strong union. It's managed to negotiate decent hourly wage, health care. Now, when I say healthcare, it's not just an insurance plan that's really good that we have to pay into. As members, we don't pay a dime for healthcare. The healthcare is provided through the employers. So we've got healthcare being provided. We've got education. We get to take courses that are for no charge to us, that are somewhat related to the field, in different aspects. So yeah, it's, and in fact, that was one of my great selling points on joining the union and actually taking the job I have. Additionally, legal services, pension, 401k. There's a lot of things that outside of just wages that the union has managed to negotiate for. And that's why I think the union is great. This particular union has done a great job. I have been part of other unions in the past. Like there was one union I was a part of. It was just horrible. Like, why you even call this was a union? What I saw of it was just like they were doing nothing for their members, and that union sucked. But what I think in terms of a union like my current union, how they're undercutting themselves and making themselves obsolete is by supporting by the type of politicians they support. You see, they support, of course, Democrats, corporate Democrats who want high taxes, and now even individuals. You've got these Democrats that are now saying, okay, yeah, free healthcare. We want free healthcare for people. We want free education, which, of course, if, as you can see when you watch my videos, those things aren't free. But this is what they're advertising. This is what they're promoting. This is what they're pushing. And these are the candidates a union like mine is supporting. Why is that to the union's own detriment? Well, it's to our detriment as members, because we pay dues to the union. And for those dues to the union, we have an organization that can negotiate great contracts on our behalf. Where I said we've got a decent wage. We've got paid for healthcare. We've got education provided that we don't have to pay any more for. The legal fund, pension, 401k, all of these things that we have. That's what we're getting for our union dues. So now, by supporting these candidates that want higher taxes, what are we getting? For these taxes. Well, these candidates are promoting higher taxes so that you can have universal health care, where everyone has health care paid for through higher taxes, where you have education paid for by everyone, through higher taxes. All of these things that, okay, a higher minimum wage. Once again, that's, going to come out of businesses' bottom line, and cost that's going to be passed down to us. So all of these things that the government that these Democrats are offering, that these politicians that they're supporting are offering, are stuff that we already get from the union for our dues. So you want us to support more of our money being taken so that other people who aren't part of our union can get the stuff that we're already getting, we're already paying you for. Now, you're saying, oh, is that selfish? A union's duty is to its members. So the union should be prioritizing, okay, this is for you, this is for your families, because even with the education, there's a scholarship fund for family members. Of course, the insurance covers adults and their children, and you can extend the insurance for your family. So all of these things that we're getting from the union, they're supporting politicians who are who want to take more of our money to provide these to the public. So at some point, it's going to be like, okay, wait a minute, why do we have two people dipping in our pockets for the same thing? One hand, the union's dipping into our pockets, but hey, I support giving that money to the union if it's doing stuff for me. And then if you could see the contracts, the type of contracts that this union has negotiated, it's great. So I'll give my money to the union. But why am I supporting higher taxes to be taken out of more money to be taken out of my paycheck for healthcare? I already have healthcare. Why am I supporting higher taxes for money to be taken on my paycheck for education? I'm getting education. I'm getting education that's paid for through the union. So I'm supporting my money being used to spend to help somebody else, which I'm not truly in a position to help. And so it's not even about selfishness. That's what people will say. It's about the fact that right now, even though my wages are decent, I still got to struggle. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. Well, maybe not exactly paycheck to paycheck. That a lot of that has to do with budgeting and being smart about your money. But I'm not, in no means, shape, or form am I financially secure to the point where I can now afford to just start helping strangers and supporting strangers. I have to take care of me first. That's first and foremost. That's my responsibility. Every person's responsibility is to take care of them and their children and their family. So I don't have kids right now. If I did have kids, those would be my primary responsibility. So it would be my duty to take care of my kids. But you're taking the money out of the pockets of people who have families, who have kids to support, who are union members, to help somebody else's. They're not in the strong enough position to be worrying about trying to lift somebody else up. They're trying to gain some type of stability, but you're making their position financially unstable because you're friends with these politicians that are promoting these policies. But the ultimate thing is going to be, if these politicians succeed in providing universal health care, if these politicians succeed in providing free education, providing this showing up Social Security, why do we need the union? If they succeed in doing what they're trying to do, why do we need the union? Okay, we're already paying high taxes, and now this you've got this free healthcare for all. You've got this in the event it passes. If you have this free healthcare for all, if you have this free college, so why do we need the union? If all of these things that the union was doing are being done by the government, we no longer need you. Minimum wage. If you want higher wages, wait a minute, the government's providing higher wages. Why do we need you? So Republicans are trying to break unions through right to work legislation, which would allow people to opt out. And many people would. Many people would say, you know what? If I don't have to pay, I'll continue to get these benefits that the union is providing, but I won't pay into them. That's going to eventually lead to a union to crumble. But the Democrats are doing the same thing, only much more insidiously, where they're saying we're providing all of the benefits that the unions are providing ourselves. We're going to make the unions obsolete to a point where people can be like, wait a minute, why do we need to join? Why do we need to fight for the union? Why do we need to join the union? Why do we need to pay more money into the union when we're getting all this stuff from the government? Unions better start smartening up and realize that supporting, they don't support right to work, but supporting these democratic policies that are about, providing all of these functions through the government is making them obsolete. Um, well, that's not how I feel about the issue, and why I think unions really need to rethink who, as politicians, they support. And it's not in the best interest of the union. It's as an entity for its continued existence, and it's not in the benefit of the members, because that's the job of the union. That's their duty. Their duty is to their members, not to random people who are not part of the union. If those people want better conditions, those people need to get up, start working to either join existing unions or form strong unions. And I'm all for people being able to do that. But there's a lot of people who will sit back, not put in any work for a union, and just accept its benefits. That's why I say, no, let's stop supporting politicians as unions. Let's stop supporting politicians who are just going to, hey, here, people, and let people have to do a little bit of grinding and get out there, be active, be involved in their own upliftment, in improving their own conditions. Because there's so many people who will sit back and just eat off the backs of others, the hard work of others, the labor of others, if they don't have to. It's unfortunately, you've got a lot of deadbeats out there. You've got a lot of people who will exploit others and have no problem just saying, hey, if I don't have to put in any work, I'm not going to. So this is my warning to unions. Be careful who you support. Start thinking smarter, start thinking long term, and stop wasting our time and our money. Thank you. See you next episode.